is Chronicle on WCVB Channel 5.
She's got big hair.
Especially on camera, the lights hit it and it glows.
A big heart.
She leads the league in charity, MC work, and auctions.
Makes a mean bolognese.
I love crowds and I love entertaining.
And tried marriage more than once.
At one time, we weren't good friends. We were married.
But Susan Warnick is most of all
a damn fine newswoman.
33 years of protecting the little guy.
I've always been a champion of people who need to have their rights.
And taking care of Channel 5's own family.
When Kelly was diagnosed with breast cancer, I feel it like it was yesterday.
Now she's taking some time for herself.
I no longer will be on television anchoring the midday news.
The amazing career of Susan Warnick, next on Chronicle.
Susan Warnick is a local girl who loves her work, her family, her colleagues, and the community. A tireless advocate for charitable causes, Susan lends her skills as an auctioneer to numerous fundraising events. It's safe to say she is seen as much in public, if not more, than on television.
That's what I'm hoping, that the only thing that really changes in my life is that I no longer will be on television anchoring the midday news. But everything else, I'm still hoping to do. All my charity work. I'm already booked well into 2015, to do some of the events that I love doing with the people who I've come to adore.
Everything about Susan is bigger than life. Hair's bigger than life. Jewelry's bigger than life, smiles bigger than life, jokes. And at Rosie's Place, what we really found is her heart for us is bigger than anything.
Rosie's Place was founded 40 years ago as the nation's first women's shelter by the visionary Kip Tiernan.
Susan was here long before I came to Rosie's Place, at least 20, 25 years. She's one of the founding members of Funny Women, Serious Business, and Lunch with Lily, our annual fundraising lunch. She hosts our gala. She's held meetings at her own house, and she's even come to Rosie's Place to talk to the guests about consumer issues and how to avoid getting ripped off.
Susan Warnick wore many hats in her 30-plus years at WCVB TV. Street reporter, consumer advocate, anchor.
I'm very lucky because I am working in my hometown. I grew up in Natick. I always love to say, I'm living proof there was a Natick before Doug Flutie. Natick High, class of 67. 64, I'll save you the trouble.
Susan credits Natick High School for her success today.
I thank the teachers at Natick High and the guidance counselors at Natick High who saw my ability to communicate, who really helped foster my self-esteem to do what I'm doing today.
Susan, when you think about it, has been a celebrity for decades. And she has the most non-celebrity persona you can imagine. She's so approachable. She's so regular. She's so easy and so open. It's a very, very nice trait to possess.
Susan is a warm and trusted friend. I think it's really that simple. In our business, people are welcoming you into their homes every day. She always had a welcome mat out from Boston's viewers, always.
In return, Susan held nothing back. Viewers got to know her mother, Myrna, saw the inside of her closet, voiced opinions about her hair. Even Oprah attempted a makeover.
This is the problem we're having, Boston.
I just always felt that there was not a more lovely and generous person, not only at Channel 5, but in the industry, in the city. You can really understand why everyone wanted to marry her, and which she did.
Husband number 2 of 4, so far, is former sportscaster Bob Lobel. Today, the two are friends who MC events.
We need to get going because Bob has to be in bed by 8:30.
And are honing their routine for future projects.
We should give people marriage advice.
Right.
We could give...
You first.
Okay. Don't marry Bob.
Her birthday is on New Year's Eve and mine's on Christmas Eve. And I said, okay, let's get married. But that's enough for me.
Bobby and I were always friends. From the first day we met, I thought he was funny and smart and just the kind of guy who was upbeat, who you just wanted to be around. And so the ability to now share those things with each other again, it's a gift.
Hi, Rabbi. Hi. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom Aleichem. I could do my whole Haftorah right now.
Cut it out. Let's go. I think her longevity and her style and her naturalness and friendliness.
3,400 and
She leads the league in charity MC work and auctions. I'll take my hat off to that.
There is no better auctioneer that I have ever seen, and she does that during the week and then does a whole full day after that, and she's back on the midday. She's incredible.
Goes nonstop and says from her mom she got the lessons of truth, honesty, and philanthropy. Lessons well learned.
Unintentionally, Susan switches from covering the news to being the news.
I had 3 terrifying days thinking I was going to jail.
Tonight at 11 on News Center 5.
The worst of this bitter cold still ahead and tracking a new significant snow threat looming.
It's the place you'd expect to be safest.
Tonight, the growing number of measles cases leads right to this doctor's office at 11.
The team behind the international hit War Horse reunites for Shakespeare's irresistible comedy of love, magic, and mystery. Boston has never seen anything like this production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Begins March 6th. Tickets at artsemerson.org.
Two stores, 2 amazing ways to score for less. TJ Maxx and Marshalls.
Hi, I need a new debit card.
One moment, please, Stephen.
Great.
You should receive your new card within 10 to 12 business days.
10 to 12 business days.
Business days are considered Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I know what business
Thursday,
days are.
Friday. Business days do not include
It's time to bank human again.
Saturday.
That's why at TD Bank, all of our checking accounts come with a free debit card on the spot, any day of the week. TD Bank, America's most convenient bank.
Closed caption funding provided by Luna.
With Luna, buy 1 room of flooring, get all other rooms of product for just $50 each.
877-241. Luna.
Susan Warnick and I share a lot of things that we did for many years, but right at the top of the list were tans. What I shared most with a lot of other people is just a profound admiration and affection for Susan. I don't ever think there'll be another Susan Warnick in this market. It's a combination of the biggest heart in the city and what few people talk about. I mean, it's really a top anchor and reporter.
Car manufacturers don't usually suspend sales of cars.
Susan's work as a consumer reporter was groundbreaking.
I've always been a champion of people who need to have their rights represented.
When she knew that something was wrong and that it was impacting the public, she was the most tenacious person and the most tenacious reporter, and you didn't want to get in her way.
Tonight, the Justice Department confirmed.
In 1999, an investigative series on the safety of the dietary supplement Metabolife ended with the company's owner filing suit.
And the guy who owned Metabolife did everything he could to defame me and to embarrass me. And of course, none of it worked because I knew what I was reporting was true. And I had some of the best medical minds in Boston behind me who'd gone on the record. One doctor looked at the camera and said, Metabolife can kill you.
You can die from taking this product.
And Metabolife sued him too. The terms of the settlement involved a statement that Susan Warnick will not gloat. So I'm not gloating, for the record.
Your refusal to furnish this essential information.
In 1985, Susan became the story when she was found in contempt of court for not naming a source.
I was supported unconditionally by my bosses, which was huge, and the people, the viewers, the general public, the newspapers in town. There were editorials supporting my stance in not identifying a source. I had 3 terrifying days thinking I was going to jail.
I'll never forget the horde of media that came over, and she ended up cooking for them. I mean, it was like she was taking care of the people that were covering her. They were just waiting for the late Newman Flanagan, the prosecutor, to probably drive up and arrest her. That was the money shot. Well, It never happened. I told her I thought she should have gone to Framingham MCI. I thought it would have been good for her career.
It never happened because all the publicity caused the source to come forward. But for Susan, it didn't end there.
The state of Massachusetts doesn't have what's called a shield law, which protects journalists from protecting their sources. Every year, somebody sponsors a bill to create a shield law, and Susan goes to the State House and testifies. And because Susan Warnick is sort of taking center stage on this piece of legislation, the goal is that people will listen.
I will always continue to fight for the rights of journalists and free journalism, absolutely.
Susan's compassionate and caring nature includes wanting to feed people. Around here, she's famous for her bolognese parties.
Susan throws a great party. Anyone who leaves New Center 5, you don't go out without a big bash at Susan's.
She's the mother of the newsroom, for the lack of a better term. She likes to have a good time, and she likes to bring people together.
I always loved meat sauce. And once I realized that there was more than Chef Boyardee in a can, I just wanted to try to make it. 3 sweet to 1 hot. And then I realized that it was a great meal for a lot of people. It'd take you about an hour to make it, and then let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and the older it got, the better it tasted. Thus, the bolognese parties, because I love a lot of people. I love crowds, and I love having parties, and I love entertaining, and I love feeding people. So it's perfect. Just smells so good.
And it's really, really good. Susan can cook. Susan can absolutely cook.
And she throws the best parties. That was true. She likes to bring us all together.
Well, you won't find a better daughter than Susan.
I'm going to be able to spend more time with my mom, which, how lucky am I?
Wouldn't it be great to bring the outdoors in? Well, today, the same Sunbrella fabrics that boaters and homeowners have used outside for years are now available inside. They've combined the toughness of their outdoor fabric with the elegance you want inside. It's soft and comfortable and has a really great selection to choose from. So bring on the dirt, wine, dogs, and food. Enjoy your home again, and don't worry, be happy. Sunbrella at Jordan's Furniture.
Ladies, how are you? Let's taste some.
Seize your vacation with a Southwest Airlines sale. Go to southwest.com, where our lowest fares are now available, as low as $69 one way. Book now at southwest.com and Carpe Vacay.
Time and temperature from TD Bank.
Hot stone massage. Aromatherapy. So Hollywood. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Join us on the red carpet Sunday, March 2nd.
Replacing a faucet or remodeling a bath? There's one place you need to visit. Frank Webb's Bath Center. It all comes down to one great room, your dream bath, in one great place. Selection, knowledge, we're here to help. Find your Frank Webb's Bath Center at frankwebb.com.
Go to WCVB.com's weather page for the latest in weather conditions, sponsored by Jeep. Get a low-mileage lease on the 2014 Compass Latitude for $149 a month for well-qualified lessees during the Jeep President's Day event going on now.
Strength is what MDA is all about. And in research centers around the world, MDA is uncovering the secrets of muscle disease. So make a muscle. Make a difference. MDA.
Now we're looking forward to Susie's retirement.
I'm going to be able to spend more time with my mom, which, how lucky am I? You know, 99 years old, and really in better shape than I'm in. smarter, quicker, funnier.
But when I was 95, that's when I came out of the closet. Yeah, I said I'm not a lesbian, but I'm coming out of the closet.
I'm really amazed and proud of her at the way she is taking care of her mother. She's taken on that job. Very cool, very impressive. And I think that kind of defines who she is.
Susan has certainly honored her mother in a way that I think all of us should look at and say, wow, that's a relationship that I'd like to have with anybody. But theirs is really, really unique and set at a higher plane than most I've ever seen.
For Susan, Channel 5 has also been family.
When Kelly was diagnosed with breast cancer, I mean, I feel it like it was yesterday. It was devastating. I mean, she was like a daughter to me, always. It was as if every one of us had been touched. You want to do something, but there's nothing you can do.
But Susan did.
After I was diagnosed with breast cancer, one of my friends stopped by the station. She and Susan started to talk, and they thought the best way that we could move forward and deal with the sadness over my personal situation would be to help other women. So Kelly for Ellie was born.
Kelly for Ellie is a fashion show and fundraiser for the Needham-based Ellie Fund.
We're here to help what they already do, and what they do at the Ellie Fund is provide rides to treatment, child care, house cleaning, meals for women and their families in the middle of breast cancer treatment. All the on-air women at Channel 5 model on the runway. And when we started it, I think a lot of people were reluctant. You know, we're newswomen, but we even got the most serious. You know, we got Janet Wu to step out of the State House for a minute and model. I view that as a personal accomplishment.
It is a disaster of epic proportions.
I was in the newsroom the day we heard of the earthquake in Haiti, and then to realize that there was a young woman who had been in our newsroom. Susan immediately leapt into this story on a professional and personal level like you've never seen.
About 6 years ago, our daughter Brittany shadowed Susan at Channel 5 and spent a whole day with her, and she came home and she said, "Mom, I love that Susan Warnick. I could hang out with her."
At first, Cheryl Ann and Len Gangle were told Brittany had survived the collapse of the Hotel Montana in Port-au-Prince.
Len ended up being on the phone with Susan during the noontime news, and Susan, being Susan, drove out to our house in Rutland, came in, and that spirit that Brittany saw 2 years earlier, we got to see.
This has been a remarkable day for you.
Together, they traveled to Florida, where the Gangles learned Brittany had in fact lost her life.
Before any of our family knew, she knew. And from that moment on, she has never left us.
After a day of volunteering with Haitian orphans, Britt texted home, "I want to move here and start an orphanage."
She has been a huge advocate for us at Be Like Britt, and for that, we are eternally grateful to her.
What I admire most about Susan is her courage. For her to come down to Haiti, as Haiti got better, we were building Britt's orphanage, and Susan kept telling Britt's story.
Britt's orphanage is a home for 33 girls and 33 boys.
Ironically, the first girl to come into Britt's orphanage was a little girl by the name of Myrna. And Myrna is the name of Susan's mother. And so there's always that connection now.
When Brittany Gangle's mother and father said, "We are building an orphanage," I thought, no, you're not. And then he built the orphanage. And I was there for the groundbreaking, and I was there for the ribbon cutting, and I thought, I have truly met a hero. And I want to do more to help heroes. I don't want to tell the stories, the bad stories of why they became heroes. I want to help them now that they are.
Oh, Susan. Susan joins us now.
You're killing me.
With tissues in hand. And, you know, the story of the Gangles, tragic, beautifully told by you, by them throughout the course of that entire time. But also that really was a shift for you to say, maybe I'm done here.
It was very difficult to obviously tell the story, but also to realize that so much of what we do is just about bad endings. And like you just heard me say, there are so many good endings, you know, and there's so much positive, and there's so many great, excuse me a minute. Hi, Mom. Hi. I know you're there. she wanted to come in tonight, but if she came in, she'd want to be on. So, you know, at some point, I'll call you on the way home. Don't worry. Anyway, but thank you for mentioning that, because the Gangles truly, I mean, they are heroes. You can't imagine. There are now, I think we have 36 kids in the orphanage. And there will be 66 at some point.
But you're such a big part of that. I mean, what you've been able to help them achieve.
Tell the story. That's the most important thing. That's what we do. We tell the stories.
So what are you going to miss? I know what we're going to miss. What are you going to miss?
You. Figuratively, obviously the two of you, and coming to this building every day where there are such smart, wonderful people who genuinely care about what they're doing and each other. So I thought I'd move into my car, take my dog, and we'll just live in the car and move into the parking lot.
What's going to happen at noon every day? You're going to start looking for a camera? I mean, you're just going to look for instinctively for a camera.
I'm going to open the refrigerator. When the light comes on, I'm going to do 30 minutes.
Favorite moments from the midday? I've got a few. Remember when Peter Jennings was here?
Yes, I think
we used to have midday call-in, and people would call on a telephone, actually, and give questions to guests, and you had Peter Jennings. Tell that story a little bit.
Well, Peter Jennings was on, and he was promoting something, and we did about 3 or 4 minutes with Peter Jennings, and then at the end, I said, thank you. We'll look at the tape, and if we're interested in you, we'll call you. He was like, who is she?
He's the man at the top of his game at the time.
That was fun. We've had some laughs.
Yeah, you knew how to throw your co-anchors off a little bit, just a few times with your great humor. It's good.
Fun.
It's good.
I've always thought the news is so sad. If you can have some fun at some point when it's appropriate.
And all that charity work that you do continues. And all that wonderful humor you bring to that, and that spice you bring to that continues.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Susan's news colleagues get the last word.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
With so many online degree options, we wanted to know why our students chose Southern New Hampshire University.
It is such quality education for the price.
And I love that there was an actual campus.
When I made that first phone call, they made it so easy. I like that it was a nonprofit school and there was a huge focus on education.
It's not about furthering themselves, it's about furthering me, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Find your online graduate or undergraduate program today and see yourself succeed at snhu.edu.
Water droplets on your tongue. The day tastes sweet. A splash, a laugh, a smile. Our senses shape how we experience life. MassIronDeer.org.
Tonight, Oscar host Ellen DeGeneres drops by for another meeting of the Mutual Admiration Society.
I love that scarf.
I really didn't think it was possible for you to be any more handsome than you already were.
It's very incestuous, this relationship.
All new Jimmy Kimmel Live, 11:35, 10:35 Central, tonight on ABC.
Diamonds, the Jewelry Exchange, has 1-carat certified solitaires for $19.90, 2-carat certified for $59.90, 2-carat rings and studs are $39.90, and most sizes and grades of GIA diamonds, all with a low price guarantee. Buy direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Tonight at 11, you won't see them on the label. Cancer-causing chemicals found in body wash and makeup sold here in Massachusetts.
They can penetrate directly into your bloodstream.
A new Center 5 health alert. The danger you can avoid at 11.
The team behind the international hit War Horse reunites for Shakespeare's irresistible comedy of love, magic, and mystery. Boston has never seen anything like this production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Begins March 6th. Tickets at artsemerson.org.
Water droplets on your tongue. The day tastes sweet. A splash, a laugh, a smile. Our senses shape how we experience life. MassIronDeer.org.
We've just seen Susan in action in your many roles: crusading reporter, newsroom mom, community legend.
You should have a big S on your
That's
chest.
right.
Super Susan.
Hey.
So how does one sum up Susan Warnick in just one word?
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
A little champagne, I think. Not too platinum. Otherwise, you walk in, and when especially on camera, the lights hit it and it glows. Yeah. Who needs that?
The next musical phenomenon could be singing whales.
I don't sing.
I think of Susan, I think husband.
There was always one person who never knew we were married. Unfortunately, it was you.
We're in the yes business.
Yes!
One word for Susan?
Just one?
When I first got here, I thought, this is a woman who has gone to jail for her sources. This is going to be a tough woman. And you get to know her, and she is the kindest person you've ever met.
That's one word?
Fabulous.
Hilarious.
Unpredictable.
Colorful.
Amazing. Friend.
So a little rain in the weekend forecast.
Finally.
Finally.
I know the timing could be better.
JC is pregnant.
Oh!
I'm sorry. I couldn't wait another minute. I'm sorry. I just couldn't wait another minute.
Clearly.
Pardon me.
Comic.
Compassionate. Heart.
Necklace.
Fashion.
Fashion.
Revere.
I don't think anybody would describe me as petite. I am having, thank you, sir. He said good luck. I'm having a little trouble standing up.
I don't know your name, but I don't care, 'cause I like the color of your hair.
Very blonde.
Very blonde. She is blonde.
And now for our token brunette.
And it's real.
Want to make any hair color jokes before we get started?
No, I'm not going where he went, I'll tell you.
Liverpool.
The Beatles stood right here. They played right here. I'm standing here. This is where they played. Exuberance.
Charming.
Real.
Susan can't be described in one word.
Bolognese.
Bolognese. I just want to get a fork and start eating it myself right out of the pot.
Bolognese.
Kind-hearted soul.
Gracious.
Endearing.
Special.
And I love you to death.
Yeah, I love you too.
Genuine.
Dynamic.
Awesome.
We really like each other. We're really good friends. At one time, we weren't good friends. We were married. But then we decided to become good friends again.
If the world asked me who, I would tell them I knew. 'Cause it's you, girl, it's you. Yes, it's you.
A damn fine newswoman.
Ugh.
All of that and much, much more.
And I have to say, cannot sum you up in one word. It doesn't work.
Too
You're
big.
everything.
Too big for one word.
Well, I have two words. Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
We are thanking you. 33 plus years, Channel 5, more in the broadcasting business in Boston. All of Boston, all of us owe you a debt of gratitude. You are tremendous. Don't start crying on me, because I'll start with
What do you mean start? I've been crying for 3 weeks. What are you talking about?
And we all thank you as well as your friends here at Channel 5 for everything you've done for us.
I forgot that I told everybody about
my pregnancy before I did.
No, I forgot
That's
about
Chronicle.
it. So
thanks for joining us.
And I'm sorry.
See you tomorrow.